don't know what I need. All right. So looking at the homework questions, number 1, I have 12 cups equals blank fluid ounces. What am I going to do to start this one? Truett? 12C over? Over 1. Because remember, it's a whole amount, so we just put a 1 on the bottom. Y'all okay with that? We should be writing this down with me. Times, setting up my second ratio. All right. What measurements are going to go in that second ratio? Not the numbers, just my measurements. Kenna? Awesome. So cups, I need those on the bottom because I have top and bottom to go away. Fluid ounces is what I'm changing it to. So I put those on the top. Okay? Remember, we're going to look at that chart that we wrote down in class. All right? What numbers does it tell me about cups and fluid ounces? Devon? 8 fluid ounces is 1 cup. So what number is going to go by my fluid ounces? 8. And what number is going by my cups? 1, because that's what it said in that sentence. All right? Before I do the math, what do I have to do, Hunter?
You have to, before you do the math, you have to erase or mark out the C's.
Mark out the C's. Please don't erase them. Please mark them out. Show me that they went away. If you just take them off, it's like they were never there. I need to know they were there. All right, so what is left for my answer? I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. What measurement is going to be left to put in my answer? And I put down. So I'm going to kind of circle that just to show, hey, that's part of my answer. I think I circled it there at the very end. I kind of snuck that in there on here. All right. So what do I get on the top? When I multiply on the top, what do I get? Carlos? 96. What do I get on the bottom? 1. Guys, did you notice if I have 1 on the bottom, do I really need it? No. So are y'all okay with me skipping that step? Okay. So 96 what?
Fluid ounces.
Fluid ounces. And I'm just going to write that and circle it right there. If you want to write 96 in the blank, you can. I just like circling it. Yes, sir.
The abbreviation to remember fluid ounces was.
There you go. Exactly what. All right. Let's do the next one. Number 2. Start it out for me. Set up the first fraction for me. Javon. 9 pounds over 1. Excellent job. All right. Times. I put an equal sign. Times. What measurements are going to go in my second fraction? Give me both of the measurements. Hunter.
You're going to put OZ on the top and LB on the bottom, and then you're going to do 16. No, 1 on the bottom, and then 16 on the top.
Okay, perfect. So he said ounces on top, pounds on the bottom, so they go away. He said 1 pound equals 16 ounces. So 1 went with pounds, 16 with ounces. Perfect. All right, what do I need to do next, Kelsey? Cross out my LB. And on the top, what do I get? 144. On the bottom, what do I get? 1. So do I need the 1 on the bottom? No. What was my measurement that I should have had in my answer? What measurement should I have in my answer, Maribel? Ounces. And I forgot to circle it, but there it is. And I can write that next to my answer. Because remember, that dimensional analysis, we're looking at those measurements. So make sure you have the measurements done correctly. All right. Number 3. First fraction. Tiva, what's it going to say? 5,000. Make sure we keep our LB next to that. Over 1. Excellent job. Times. What measurements are going to go there? Carlos? Okay, not the numbers. Give me the measurements first, then we'll put the numbers. All right, and is tons going on the top or the bottom? Top, and my pounds is going on the bottom. Perfect. So remember, that's that LB. I need the top and bottom to match, and then my tons went on the top. All right, what number does it say goes with the tons? What number is next to my tons? 1, and you can see right here you got that 1 ton, and then 2,000 is next to pounds. So make sure that's next to the LB. So 1 ton, 2,000 pounds. All right, Zach, what's next?
Wouldn't 5,000 be
we're going to get that for our answer, I think. But we just got to show the work to go with it, all right? All right, what do I need to do next? Before I do the math, what do I need to do, Rodrigo? Before I actually multiply. Cross out the LB. Perfect. And guys, remember, that's the part that I forget. Don't forget it. Don't be like me. All right. So what I'm left with for my answer is the T, which is good. That's what we need. So now we've got to multiply. What number do I get on top when I multiply on top? What do I get? Maribel? 5,000. What do I get on the bottom, Maribel? 2,000, because 1 times 2,000 is 2,000. So that looks a little weird, doesn't it? All right. But remember, guys, you can type that in your calculator. Type 5,000, 5,000. Hit your fraction button. You have to use that fraction button, okay? And then 2,000. And what does that give me when I type that in? Sean? 2.5. And what are we talking about here? Tons. All right, do y'all see how I put my 2 big with the half next to it and T just out to the side? Yes, Owen? All right. Number 4. We're rocking and rolling, guys. Y'all are doing awesome. All right. Set up my first fraction for me. Maribel? 36 feet over 1. Excellent job. Times my second fraction. Give me my measurements, Hunter. Measurement, not numbers.
Yard up top and feet on the bottom.
Yards on top, feet on the bottom. All right. Gabby, using that chart from earlier, what numbers have my yards and my feet? What am I going to use for that? Which line talks about yards and feet? 3 and 1. And what number is going to go next to the feet? What number am I going to keep by my feet? All right. 1 stays with yards, so what number has to stay by the FT? 3. So next to my FT here on the bottom, I'm going to put 3. And what number was it that was next to my YD? 1. Okay. Now before I multiply those, what do I need to do? Ethan? Okay, so excellent. My FT are going away, marking those out, circling the YD because that's what we want in our answer. All right, what do I get on the top? Tony?
36.
And on the bottom? 3. Now when I simplify that, what happens there, Carlos? So typing that in their calculator, what do we get? Remember, type 36 on the top, 3 on the bottom. You got it typed in, Tony? What'd you get?
108.
And I think we multiplied that. What'd you get, Hunter?
12.
12. So just make sure when you type that in, make sure you're doing 36. Hit that fraction button, that ABC button, and then 3.
So when do you know when to hit it? Is it just numbers that look weird?
Whenever, see where we have that fraction bar? Whenever I have a fraction bar, if it's left like that, we want to type it in. If it's over 1, well, a 1 on the bottom doesn't matter. But if I have a number here, we want to use it. Okay?
Okay.
So that gives me 12, and like Ethan said, we're going to put YD as our answer, yards. Okay? All right, number 5. Set up my first fraction for me. Alana? 730 yards over 1 times what measurement is going to go in my second fraction, Carlos?
Miles is 1 and yards is 1,000.
Right. Tell me where to put the measurement first, and then we'll do the numbers.
Yards on the bottom and miles.
Yards on the bottom, miles on the top. Okay, what number is going to go by my miles? 1, because it says 1 mile is how many yards?
1,000.
1,760. So make sure again, guys, if it's 1,760 is by the yards, it stays by the yards in my work. And 1 was by the miles, so it stays by my miles. Okay? All right. Now what, Chris? Mark out the whitey and circle my miles. All right. What? Now this one looks really weird. That's okay. What do I get on the top? Sean? Mm-hmm. On number 5 on the top, what do I get when I multiply those? 730 times 1 is? 730. And on the bottom, 1 times 1,760 is? 1,760, okay? Now that looks weird, right? Now, Tony, did this have a 1 on the bottom? No, so this is where we're going to type that in again. So 730, fraction button, 1760. When you type that in and push enter, what do I get, Javon? 73 over 176, and what needs to go next to that? Miles. Guys, I want you to think about it. Yards, aren't they a lot smaller than miles? So if I have 730 yards, that's not even a whole mile yet. It's not enough. That's why I have that weird looking fraction, okay? All right. Number 6, what do I need to do to set up that fraction? On number 6, what do I need to do to set up that fraction? Backwards C. 3 times 5 is? 15 plus 2. 17 over 5. And make sure my miles stay on top. Times miles on bottom. Feet on top. What number goes next to my feet? Not 1,000, but 5,280. What goes next to my miles? 1. Okay? Miles go away. Leave me with feet. Equals. Ooh, I'm going to need a big calculator. So I have 17 times 5,280, which gives me 89,760 over 5. So I'm going to type that in, 89,760, fraction button 5. When I push enter, what do I get as my answer there?
17,952.
17,952 what? Feet. Excellent job. All right, guys. Y'all have a good day. Thanks for hanging out. That'll be in the video if you need to fast forward. Awesome job. Alright, so that class just left, but I am going to go ahead and finish going over these last ones on the homework. So for number 1, I have 7.5 gallons. To make that fraction, I'm going to change this to an improper. So I'm going to do 7 times 2 is 14, plus the 1 gives me 15, and that 2 that was on the bottom stays on the bottom. Remember my measurement, gallons. I'll just keep writing that on top like I've done all the others. Times. Have gallons on top, I'm going to put gallons on the bottom, and I'm changing it to quarts, that goes on the top. Looking at my sheet over here, it says 1 gallon is 4 quarts, so I'm going to put 1 by gallons, 4 by quarts. So 1 by gallons, 4 by quarts. All right, before I start doing the math, I want to make sure to mark those out so they don't get in my way. All right, 15 times 4 gives me 60, and 2 times 1 is 2. When I simplify 60 over 2, that gives me 30 quarts, QT. Making sure we use that measurement that was left over that I did forget to circle. Okay. Number 8. Number 8's been a little tricky. I know some of my advanced students had asked about this one in class. So I have 3/4, that's my fraction. My t, just like before, I'm still going to write my t on the top, even though it was out to the side here. So then I'm going to do times. Since tons was on the top, tons will go on the bottom, and LB on the top. Okay. I know that 1 ton is 2,000 pounds, so 1 will stay by ton, 2,000 by pounds. So I'm going to put 1 and 2,000. Okay. My tons go away, so I'm left with pounds for my answer. 3 times 2,000 is 6,000 over 4 times 1 is 4. So when I simplify 6,000 over 4, that's going to give me 1,500. And I was talking about LB, so I'm going to put pounds there. All right, you can put LB. If you put LBS, that's fine as well. All right, 24 fluid ounces. Since this is a whole number, I will be putting 1 on the bottom just to make it look like a fraction. So I have a top and a bottom. Fluid ounces was on top, so I put it on the bottom to match, changing it to cups. All right, I know 8 fluid ounces equals 1 cup, so I'm going to put 8 and 1. So 8 fluid ounces, 1 cup. Those go away, leaving me with cups for my answer, which is what we want. On the top, 24 times 1 is 24. On the bottom, 1 times 8 is 8. When I simplify, 24 over 8 will give me 3. And I'm going to put my cups that I had ended up with on the top. Okay. The very last one, 5 times 3 is 15 plus 1 gives me 16 over 3, keeping the 3 on the bottom. My measurement stays on the top. If feet are on the top, feet go on the bottom, and my yards, which I want to get, goes on the top. Okay. Feet and yards, it tells me right here 3 feet equals 1 yard, so I'm going to put 3 by feet, 1 by yards. So 3 by feet, 1 by yards. My feet go away, circling my yards because that's what I want in my answer. All right, 16 times 1 is 16. 3 times 3 is 9. All right, if I change that to a mixed number, so typing in 16 over 9 as a fraction, 9 will go into 16, I know, 1 time. With 7 left over, you can do that one in your head pretty easily, or you can use your calculator to check it. So I get 1 and 7/9 yards. Okay. All right, so hopefully that was helpful on our homework. We will check it and go over